Dear friends, today we are going to discuss about language fundamentals of Java. Generally, language fundamentals means these are the basics to build a program, to write a program. Actually, in Java, we have these fundamentals. What is that? Variables, keywords, constants, data types, operators. All these are the language fundamentals in Java. So any programming language has these fundamentals, like C, C++, Java, C Sharp, whatever you speak, you talk about here. All these languages has these fundamentals, and if you are really good at these fundamentals, it is easy for you to build a simple programs in Java or C or C++ or even C Sharp. So then today we are going to focus about what is that variable. So what is a variable? A variable is an identifier. Actually, it is an identifier which identifies a value, which identifies a value. What do you mean by that? Let us see with a small example. I say that a equal to 10, comma b equal to 20, and I say a plus b. Now, when you talk about this a plus b, what is the answer here? I know you say that this is 30, but I have a small question. How this answer is 30? Simple. You had substituted 10 inside a, and you had substituted 20 inside b. Now the question is, how do you know you should substitute 10 here and substitute 20 here? It's very simple. We had named this 10 as a, and we had named this 20 as b. From this, what we can conclude, these are nothing but variables and the names given to the values. So what this name is doing, this is identifying this value, and in a simple way, this is a variable. So what is that? It is name given to a value. I hope this is clear, my dear friends. So next, after that, next thing we have to see is syntax. In programming, for each and everything we have syntaxes. And what is a syntax? Syntax means rule we have to follow, and these are built in. We have to blindly memorize this. You don't have any other shortcuts. And if you're really good at syntaxes, trust me, 50 to 60% of your coding will become easy for you. So what I would like to tell you is, just try to get in touch with as much possible as to understand the syntaxes. So okay, next one. The syntax of variable is a data type space, variable name. That is first one. So this is for declaring a single variable. Suppose you can ask me a question. What if I want to declare multiple variables? Simple. You can say data type space, variable one comma, excuse me, variable 2, variable 2 comma dot dot dot. This is the syntax. This is for declaring multiple variables. Here, each variable must be separated with a comma. This is for declaring a single variable. And you know what do you mean by syntax? It is a rule. And this rule is fixed, and you have to memorize this, trust me. So this is simple idea about syntax. Let us take a simple example. Suppose I want to declare an integer variable here. So how do I declare? Data type is int here. A is a variable name. Int space the statement. Here, this is your variable. This is the data type. Maybe you can ask me a question. What is this int here? Don't worry about this. We'll talk about that in the fourth topic of our data types. So there is nothing to worry about it, my dear folks. You can easily understand what is a data type there. Trust me, I'm going to make you very clear, give you a clear idea about the data type there. Now the point is, what are the rules for declaring variables? So generally, when you are declaring variable, there are certain rules for declaring variables. First one, number one, always a variable should start with a variable should start with what is that? Alphabet or underscore or dollar. So this is a very important rule. Maybe after that, we can use numbers. Means we can put numbers in a variable. We can use numbers. But what is the point here? Variable always should start with alphabet or underscore or dollar. That is very important. For example, you take ABC 1 to 3. Excuse me. Is this valid or invalid? Valid, because it starts with the alphabets and then you have numbers later. Similarly, I'll take 1 to 3 ABC. This is not valid because point is very simple. A variable should always start with the alphabets or underscore or dollar, but not with numbers. So this is invalid. So This is not valid. Suppose I take underscore 123. Is it valid? Yes, this is valid. Suppose I take dollar underscore 123. Is it valid? Yes, it is valid. I just take only dollar. Is it valid? Yes, it is valid. I just take only underscore. Is it valid? Yes, it is valid. I just take something like ABC underscore 123. Is it valid? Yes, definitely valid. So I think this gives you a clear analysis about what is that the valid variables here. Next one, of course. Next, after this rule 2, second one, no special symbols in a variable except what is that? No special symbols in a variable except no special symbols in a variable except what is that? Underscore and dollar. Except underscore. No special symbols in a variable except underscore and dollar. Okay, so this is another important rule here. If you see this, put underscore here and then put dollar here. So that's it. Means for example, let us see few examples here. Suppose I take ABC, so underscore 123. Do you think is this valid? Yes, no doubt about that. I say ABC dot 123. Do you think this is valid? Yes, it is valid. Suppose I take I'm sorry, this is invalid here. Second one is a invalid. Why? Dot is a special symbol and you cannot put a special symbol inside a variable. Okay, send underscore dollar 123. Do you think this is valid? 200% this is valid. So similarly, when I say ABC plus hyphen 123, do you think this is valid? This is invalid because special symbols are not allowed in a variable. So this is the point. I hope you got this gives you a better understanding about the second rule 2. Next, third one, rule 3. No white spaces are allowed in a variable. So what is that? No white spaces are allowed in a variable. That is another important rule. What is that? You can take something, ABC space 123. And if you see this, I'm putting some space in between these two, and this is not allowed in variables. Okay. So, my dear folks, remember, don't try to put spaces in variables while declaring them in a program. This is very bad habit, and it leads to compilation error. This is third rule. I think you got better idea about variables now. So what is a variable? It's a simple. It is an identifier which identifies a value. And in a simple way, it is a name given to a value which is used to identify a value in a program. Right. Next one. The syntax of variable is this. It should be data type space variable name for declaring single variable. And the syntax of second one is data type space var1 comma var2 comma dot dot dot. Next one, rules for declaring variables. Make sure when you are declaring variable, always your variable should start with the alphabet or underscore or dollar. Maybe after that you can have numbers. There are few examples which I had discussed in this video. Maybe you can go through this again. So next one, again, no special symbols are allowed in a variable except what is that? Underscore and dollar. So that is another important point. So, and you can see a couple of examples there where we have underscore and dollars which are valid. But if you try to put some special symbols, they are invalid. And if you try to put invalid things in a variable, it leads to compilation error. Third rule, don't try to put white spaces in a variable. If you put white spaces, then it leads to compilation error, my dear folks. I hope this gives you clear idea about variables. In our next video, we are going to discuss about keywords and constants. Thanks for listening to the video. Thank you very much.